Daniel, and welcome to the Emunah Project. We here at the Emunah Project are continuing in our series of videos with respect to information, education, inspiration, guidance, and advice. And I want to tell a couple of very quick stories with respect to Rabbi Zev Wolf of Zbarazh. This was the youngest son of Rabbi Michal, the Maggid of Zlochov. And in his youth was a very wild and strong-willed boy, but eventually he grew up to be a very peace-loving and kind-hearted man who saw the good in everything. And he encouraged others to be good. Rabbi Zev Wolf would go so far, whenever he rode in a carriage, to tell the carriage driver not to use a whip on the horse, and not even to yell or speak harshly at the horse. He says, you don't have to yell, you don't have to whip, you just have to know how to talk, and everything will be fine. And there was once a time when two men were quarreling rather heatedly, and Rabbi Zev Wolf was asked to intervene, and the guy who asked him to intervene kind of hinted that he should be going against one of the two men who was supposedly not all that righteous. Rabbi Zev Wolf of Zlochov, of Zbarazh, would have none of it. He says, listen, I've been listening to these two men, and one does not seem any better or worse than the other. I view them as both righteous, and who am I to come between two righteous men? Very few of us are going to reach that level of tranquility and peace. And there's a story about his father, the Maggid of Zlochov, and how did this wild kid suddenly become so peaceful? And the Maggid of Zlochov tried very hard with the youngest of 5 sons, Zev Wolf, and he was having a hard time. And it was about the time of young Zev Wolf's bar mitzvah. So the Maggid of Zlochov had a very interesting request. The sofer who was making the man who was making the tefillin, and the sofer who was writing the verses that go in, he says, listen, before you put the verses in, I need to borrow these tefillin. I need to use these tefillin. And he held them in his hands and looked at them and thought about his son and his hopes and prayers for young Zev Wolf. And the Maggid of Zlochov started crying on behalf of his son, his hopes, his wishes for his son. And his tears fell into the empty boxes of the tefillin. He took a handkerchief, he dried them, and then gave them to the sofer, to the scribe, and who put the verses in the head and the boxes for the arm. It is said that once the Maggid of Zlochov's son, Zev Wolf, put on his tefillin in preparation for his bar mitzvah, from that moment on, for the first time, he grew tranquil. A calmness came over him, and he was filled with love, not just for his father, but for all of mankind, for all people. And this love and kindness was a hallmark of Rabbi Zev Wolf of Zbarazh. We're going to be doing more videos along these lines. Please come back. Please watch, please learn. And until next time, on behalf of the Emunah Project, I'm Daniel, and thank you too much.